We're going to find out not only who the coolest countries are, but who the uncoolest countries are, which is fun.
There was a poll done with 30,000 people from 15 different countries to find out which countries are the coolest and which countries are completely uncool. So I'm going to give you that list right now. Believe it or not, topping that list is the United States. Americans are considered the coolest.
That's right, we're number one, baby! And they cite things like Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg. Surprisingly, they didn't cite Karl Rove or Mitt Romney. But anyway, no, they mentioned Barack Obama as a cool president. One could argue, but nonetheless, anyway, look, of course, our culture still dominates jeans, whether you like it or not, McDonald's, Coke, Nike, Steve Jobs, all these people, and it does make it, that's why our culture dominates the world, right or wrong. America's number one, Brazil's number two, which also makes sense. I think, look, when I think of, well, who's cool? I don't know. And look, they interviewed 30,000 people. They get a general sense of it. That's my general sense, too. The Brazilians seem really cool.
Yeah, I'm in favor of Brazilians.
Right. And then Spanish being number one in Europe, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, they just won the World Cup. Gives them a slight edge over the Italians. That came in fourth.
Right, Italians did come in at fourth. At number five, the French.
Oui, oui.
I knew, you're so predictable. It's unbelievable how predictable you are.
Okay, I'm really surprised at number six, though. The British?
The British are cool, but they absolutely love hydrangeas.
I mean, look, I like tea and crumpets just as much as the next guy, but I'm surprised that the British were considered that cool. The Dutch were seventh. I'm a little surprised by that. Hey, look at the Mexicans.
I feel like Mexicans should be higher on that list. I mean, I have a personal bias, but still.
You have a massive personal bias. Look, literally, very personal for you. But anyway, look, Argentinians, I thought should have been higher.
Totally.
Like, I feel like Argentinians are super cool, but that's just me. And the Russians, look at the Ruskies coming in the top 10.
When I think of Russians, I think of party animals. Like, how many Russian stories have we done where military members crashed their tank in a building because they were drinking vodka and partying, having a good time?
I suppose so. When I think Russia, I think vodka, right? But it's not necessarily a party. I just picture like a really depressed guy sitting alone in a house, just drinking vodka like crazy. Ah, I hate my neighbor.
Do you love our stereotypes, by the way?
Massive stereotypes. But this whole story is about stereotypes.
It is.
And the general sense that people have. But let's go on to the fun part, the uncool countries.
All right, the uncool countries, I'm going to go from number 5 to number 1. Coming in at number 5, Germans.
Oh, 9-9. 9-9-9. I thought Kartoffelsalat was very cool, but apparently not.
I thought you were going to do the standard Schlupen das.
Das ist Vitamin.
Right.
Okay, what's next?
Coming in at number 4 are the Canadians, which I don't agree with. Why do Canadians always get that bad reputation for being, like, uncool? I think Canadians are awesome. First of all, Canada's beautiful, okay?
Okay, Canada's a lovely place. Canadians are lovely people. They're just incredibly boring. Okay.
They're not boring.
Now, and look,
they're peace-loving humans.
I love them to death, and I don't actually think a single Canadian is boring. Like, oh, you're from Canada, you must be a boring human being. But the image out there is like Canada doesn't do anything. Anyway, you saw number 3 there, the Turks.
Sorry.
What is that? That ain't a Turkish guy. What the hell's going on here? There's nobody in Turkey that looks like that.
Awesome.
Okay. Anyway.
That's actually not a person from Turkey, but we did take an image of Cenk, and then we aged it a couple years, and that's what we found.
Added a mustache and like a Palestinian headdress. Anyway, look, I'm very disappointed by this. In my mind, the Turks were really cool. Apparently, not a lot of people share that.
Speaking of massive personal bias.
Yeah, totally. I'm actually totally amused that the Turks are considered among the uncoolest people in the world.
Sorry.
Coming
in at number 2 are the Poles.
Totally. I'm sorry, Poland. I'm so sorry. But like, who thinks, oh man, check out those Poles. They're totally hip. Like, oh, that Polish dude? That's as hip as it gets. That sentence has never been uttered. Okay, so my question is, who's going to beat the Poles? Who's more unhip than Poland?
Belgian.
Oh, disaster.
What is that?
That's apparently a Belgian dude. And that's why they came in number 1 at uncool.
No, I'm shocked by this because they have waffles and chocolate.
Yes! Yes.
Come on. How uncool can they be?
Yes! Who said that? All right. On waffles alone, they had to have beaten the Turks.
I know.
Right?
Totally.
What do the Turks have? Lahmacun? Although that's pretty
delicious,
good. And gyros. We have gyros and we're still considered that uncool. It ain't right.